good evening, and welcome to another podcast. I'm Simone Thomas, and this is my podcast on Cape Flat Stories called Changing the Narrative. Here we deal with and talk about, discuss all things natural hair and natural hair community. So, welcome. I am live from Germany, all the way from Germany, but I am from born and bred in Cape Town in South Africa. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining us. Last week we had a very, very interesting show with Marion from Marley Gray, and we spoke about alopecia and how she got her, was journeying with alopecia and growing her hair back the natural way, and really being on this journey with alopecia and having to grow this beautiful head of hair despite her alopecia. So tonight we have my friend all the way from Cape Town tuning in. She goes by a blog or vlog is called Deidre by Deidre, and she's joining us. And we're talking tonight really just about having fun with your natural hair. And the natural hair is fun. Oftentimes people, say, "Oh, it's so difficult and it's such a burden," but actually, it shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be. I certainly have the most fun with my hair, and a lot of people say, "You make it look so easy." It is easy. It's supposed to be easy as my hair. It's growing from my head. So we're talking about that. Deirdre and I have known each other for many, many years, and we have lots of deep conversations, which we
Very
won't go
deep.
into. We won't go into tonight, Deirdre. We have lots of deep conversations about being a woman, being a colored woman, our journey with our natural hair, how we see, and how we have to navigate this thing called life. So it's a old breedy that we, breath of discussion that we normally have. But tonight we're talking about, you know
Yeah,
what? Being natural is actually a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be
a lot
difficult.
of fun.
It's a lot of fun. So, Deirdre,
Okay.
welcome to my podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me, Simone. Like, there isn't an easier person I could chat to be honest. Like, we can speak for hours and hours. Not even you being in Germany stops us from speaking all the time. So I'm really excited. I think, you're still one of the OGs when it comes to natural hair. So definitely a liquor person to have this discussion with. But
Thank you so much.
for me, I think that because the natural hair journeys become very, very big now. It's not just like back in the day when there was just two items in the aisle. People's now actually overwhelmed. So if you start with your natural hair journey now, you come into like the clicks aisle. It can be very overwhelming for you, firstly, because it's like, okay, I see 10,000 shampoos, 10,000 conditioners. These different kinds of conditioners. So for leave-in, we have deep conditioner, we have rinse out conditioner. So it can be so overwhelming for new naturals, if you want to call it that. And I think sometimes, even for me, who is a natural hair enthusiast and shares my journey, I think sometimes we also forget that there is people who still have the very basic questions, like from the very start. We kind of sometimes just assume that everyone knows how this works now, but that isn't the case. Do you know what I mean? And then it still becomes difficult for the newbies because then it's like, okay, but you guys know how this works now. What about me? Where do I start? They have questions like, how much shampoo do I use? So I can understand that it can become a lot for people starting off, but it doesn't have to. If I can just say like one thing to newbie naturals, I always say the key to starting is finding a hair regime for you and then figuring it out from there. So start off with like a basic shampoo, deep condition, styler, sealant maybe. You know what I mean? Start off with that, see how that works for you. Now you start playing around. Now you start figuring it out. Because it's different for all of us, Simone, you know for sure. What I do might not necessarily work for you, and it might have nothing to do with the product. It might have nothing to do with the brand even. It's maybe just that my hair doesn't like that or doesn't like that step. I remember there was a stage of my journey where I didn't even like oils. Like, why, girl?
Mhm.
But then it's part of figuring things out. You have to figure things out by yourself. And what's also nice now with having a lot of products is that you can actually start off with like one brand that maybe offers a lot of products in the range, and then start testing others, because now you can see, okay, but I use that shampoo and this one does this to my hair. So I'm actually liking this one more. I'm liking like a more clarifying shampoo more, or I'm liking a more conditioning shampoo. You have to test it out for yourself. But once you figure it out, you like, it doesn't have to be difficult. We know we might come across as lazy naturals now, but it's not lazy, because this isn't a trend. There's a lifestyle. We have decided that we are comfortable with rocking our natural hair. So now we have to adapt to working with natural hair. Ons was heeltyd getune how to work with a flat iron and things, but now we go back to the roots, back to who we
Really,
are.
you just
You
went
know?
straight into that. You went straight
Hmm?
into the.
Yeah,
It is
because
useless
it is.
somebody deodorant.
It is as simple as that. I see people like struggling, and I'm like, guys,
Uh,
you don't have to use
yes,
10,000
correct.
products. And I think sometimes with seeing influencers like try products and things, you also think that like, oh, here's now a curling cream, a gel, a butter, a mousse, what. I can't use all these things on my hair, but what you have to understand is that the influencers probably just testing everything, because they are trying to introduce the brand to you
Yeah,
or the products to you, how it works. But it doesn't mean we use all 10 at once. Like for me, it's either cream or gel.
yeah,
I'm more of a gel girl, like I've realized that now. But then there's days where I'm like, I feel like doing cream. But you have
mhm,
to start recognizing what each does for your hair. So you must figure it out, man. It's like one of those, the beginning is a bit difficult, like with anything in life, because we figure things out. But once you have it, you have it.
you have it. Okay, but Deidre,
You have it.
jy het nou sommer ingeval by die deur. Sak en al.
Jy weet ek speel nie.
Can you first introduce yourself? Because you just went there straight. Who are you? What
So
now?
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
just
sorry.
so
So
good.
I did say I am Deirdre, but let me just tell you a bit more about like who Deirdre is, right? So I have a Instagram page, a TikTok account, a Facebook account. I go by the name Deirdre by Deirdre. And I actually chose that name because I always wanted to like remind myself that I'm Deirdre first. You know, like you're a wife, you're a mother, you're all of those things, but Deirdre first, always, you know? So that is like my reminder for that.
Okay.
And self-care is so lekker. And taking care of your hair, number one. Jy weet, ons masker is your haar nie reg like hier en dan like niks reg nie. Self-care is such a lekker thing. And I think a lot of the times, even men think that we do it for them. No, no, no. We do it for ourselves. It's all about us. But yeah, I am a natural enthusiast. That's what I like to go by, because I just really enjoy my hair. I I don't know if you're the same, Simone, but I think like if you spot another natural and it's like instantly like, girl, I see you. I see you over there. I see you looking liquor. I just is what it is. My son said the other day, do you know her? I'm like, I don't need to know her. She's rocking a natural hair. She's my sister. So it's really just being enthusiastic about naturally healthy, actually,
Yeah,
because um, we don't judge people. I think a lot of times people also think that when we are natural, we judge people who flat iron their hair. No, 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 no. It's got nothing to do with that. It's not a versus party. It's not
yeah,
a curly, kinky versus straight, whatever. Because
right.
by now, like a lot of us know that you can have naturally straight hair, and if
Yeah,
you choose to do whatever with your hair, you do that. It really is about embracing you and being okay with like not having to conform to what society once upon a time, because it is once
yeah,
upon a time, or there's no by time, where society made us think that this wasn't okay.
yeah.
And you can do so much with it, man. I wish like people can just know once they pass an awkward phase. then it's easy.
That's easy.
I'm lazy as hell. This hairstyle is the go-to lazy hairstyle.
I don't know if
It's
it
not
was
difficult
the
at
same.
all.
I don't know if it was the same with you, but when I visited Paris with my when we visited Paris earlier this in summer, well, summer in Europe, I there were so many naturals in Paris that I turned around the whole
Yes,
time
yes,
because everybody was just so unapologetic in Paris about
yeah,
their natural curly hair. And there was all everyone on the typing system was rocking it. There were people, it
yes.
was like, you could see, okay, yes, coils going on, and the other one was just wavy, and she was just feeling herself, and she was just completely sexy. And then was others that would just wear their hair stretched out, but you literally saw
You
the
see it all.
entire typing
And
system.
it's beautiful. It's so beautiful to see.
And they were just so comfortable, and just so, by the way, there's a lot of black people, I think half
In
of the
Paris, because
European continent is in Paris. I was also
yeah,
quite surprised, but I mean, I knew that there were black people in France, in Paris, but I didn't know just how many
yeah,
black people are in Paris. And they were just so unapologetically themselves. They were just like confident
yeah.
in themselves. I don't know if you saw it, because I was just like
No,
peering.
I definitely saw it. Like you know how it is. Wherever you go, you're so attracted to seeing that. Like if you see it, you can't miss it. And you
Yeah,
almost stay and you have to go like, go, calm down.
yeah. Don't stay as
But
ugly as lelijk om so
yeah,
te sê. Yeah, yeah,
it's lilac. But I think the natural hair girls get it. It's like we've come this far where we are so comfortable. And that's the power of owning like yourself. I mean, even back in the day, Dick Lipper wasn't a thing. Gunsucker, as they call it, wasn't a thing. But the moment people start embracing it, we almost force everyone else to go, okay. Because
yeah.
now when you look in magazines, in any form of media, even in the windows, they almost forced to have a kruiskop, krulkop, kinky, coily representation because I mean, you did a study on it on hair. I remember I was part of your study. Thank you for always having me. Where it was like how the sales of relaxers have gone down since people have started embracing their natural hair. And why is that? It's because of us. It's because the moment people saw that look, everyone's rocking their natural hair. We now don't just have like one island please. Hulle moet nou nog 'n aisle op gaan maak. I feel like
I
I go
think
into things and there's like I'm like, where's do you not have this product? It's like in the other aisle, I'm like, woo! Look how far we've come. We have options.
options.
So it's like it's really nice that seeing somebody else just makes somebody else go, I can as well.
Okay. It's that power. It's that power. It's that poem by that lady Marion that I always refer to, is that you living a liberated life gives others the power to also be liberated. So I think this is,
100%.
and it is that power of one where you start and say, oh, okay, no, but Deidre is rocking her naturally. No, 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 ik dink ek
Yeah.
kan dit ook doen. Ek dink ek kan dit ook doen.
Yes, and it genuinely becomes like a community. You
It
know
is.
how just going to events and things, you start seeing the same faces. You start seeing people. You start going, oh, you on my Facebook. Oh,
Yeah,
I see you there. I see you there. And then we so much homies. We so much our whole
vibe.
family. You know? I was
Yes.
at an event the other day, and there was like two naturalists. Now now it's my chobbies. We don't even need to like say anything. It's instantly with chobbies, right? So she's like, "Are you going to the Chris Rocks event?" So I'm like, "I can't be there. I'm so sad. I can't be there. I still bought a ticket,
I
but I can't
saw
be
it.
there."
Yes.
But she was saying it was her first event that she's going to, and I was like, you know what, girl, that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Like to go to a natural hair event where you surrounded by women just celebrating their natural hair. I mean, People know when they go to that event, hulle beste. You see hairstyles. That's when you know natural hair is fun. Because
Yeah.
now you start seeing hairstyles that you never thought you could do with your natural hair. You see from straight even to wavy to curly, kinky, coily. You see all hair types. You see different textures. You see different hairstyles. Um, you have so much information. Are you
Yes, I'm
there? Sorry, I just wanted to
here.
froze for a moment. um, and it's so empowering, and it just makes you feel like I want to go again and I want to go again. And I promise, like anyone who hasn't been to a event, you will leave there with at least 10 friends if you
Yeah.
just stay at the event. Like at least 10 friends. Like my community. My community.
And thank you.
So friendly, so friendly, um, so helpful. I think even just going up to a person that you're standing next to and just asking them, like, what do you use on your hair? I've never met anyone in the natural hair community who's gonna deny you an answer, who's not gonna share their journey with you. And a lot of us have similar stories, but it's still just so very liquor to listen to somebody else's
Yeah,
story.
agree. I think I think that's how we met, Deirdre.
Yeah,
That's how we met. That's how I met Marion. I mean, some of my closest friends that I consider my friends now, I met in the natural hair community.
yeah, for
And it's
sure.
just like it's this whole thing with hair. It's like immediately there's this whole conversation and this whole I almost want to say support. And people say a lot of times that, oh, women are, there's the stereotype, oh yeah, you women are so bitchy with one another. And I'm like, who you hanging out with? Like, bruh,
Get
like,
rid of that energy. You're in the wrong crowd.
because I'm like, no, like,
Sny die twee punte af.
because I'm like, actually, no,
Yeah,
no, like,
yeah.
no, just
No,
no,
it doesn't have to be that way at all. Not in
I
2022, Simone.
no,
Like
2022, and I
with the
remember,
hair, even,
yeah, yeah,
with the hair, even, I think a lot of a lot of other things um become important in your life, man. You realize through your hair journey, like what a strong woman you are. Because let's face it, I don't know of anyone who hasn't started their journey and hasn't experienced shitty comments from people nearest and dearest to them. Your mother, you'll find even saying, "Gaan jy nou vir ewig so loop?
wow, yes,
Gaan jy nou nooit jou hare blou nie?" Um,
mm-hmm.
um, for me, it was like a work colleague who was like, "Okay, are you like never going to blow dry your hair?" But you then you realize, but no, I'm standing up for myself. Kroes
Yeah,
maak nie meer seer nie. Telling me that my hair is kroes, it doesn't hurt me. If you thought it
that's a
hurts me, it
compliment.
doesn't. It's changed. And only you have the power to do that. And with that, you realize in life, even like, girlfriend, once you stand up for yourself, once you say, but this is what I enjoy doing, this is what I want for me, then it just opens up so much room for growth in like other aspects of your life, man.
Yeah,
These are deep stuff. Whether people want to say, yo, you naturalistas are just going too deep. It is a deep stuff. It's a very, very, very deep rooted issue for us.
and this is the thing, Deirdre. This is the thing, and this is, for me, it is like, okay, obviously I did a whole study and I committed like 5 years of my life to understand this thing of naturally because I wanted it to mean something and I wanted it to make a social change, right? So I was like, I'm not going to spend 5 years of
Yeah.
my life pain and trauma of doing a master's and it not doing something
And
and
now
not
doctorate.
and now a doctorate, yes. But I was just like, I don't want to do something for so long and it's not, it's not meaning something to society and to my people, and people always is like, yeah, but what do you mean? Come gaan julle so aan, and I remember even with the whole
Yeah.
klikstress en my saga, also people were like, "Gaan julle so
Yeah.
aan?" But you know what? I was listening to a like a podcast yesterday with Trevor Noah, and Trevor Noah said, and I quote, he said, "The devastation. You don't understand the devastation that discriminating and hating against our hair and calling it things like, krus and the association thereof. You don't understand the impact thereof and the impact that it has, not just on my generation of women, not just us, but the generation before us and the generation before them. So you don't understand the impact thereof. So please don't come and tell us, listen here,
Yeah.
it's kom maak julle so 'n groot ding daarvan." Nee, dit is 'n groot
Yes.
ding. Dit is 'n diep saak,
It is.
especially when you have
And if it's
people.
not,
Yeah, yeah, go
if it's
on.
not a big deal to you, then I say then don't talk about it. Don't say something about it.
Say something
Because
about
then
it.
it is not for you. It's not a story for you to
Yeah,
tell, to question, then just stay out of it.
yeah.
Focus on
Because
yourself, Papa.
you want focus on yourself, Baba. But also, if you weren't impacted by it, how would you know
You
why we making
wouldn't.
such a big deal about it?
And it's like you said, it's and like Trevor Noah, it's all about intention, and it's all about if you have good intentions, then it's fine. But if you are saying my hair's cruise because you actually think that it's gonna belittle me or make me feel less than, then sorry, man, suntu. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
there's no
yeah,
room for you.
yeah.
We've come to a point where we can actually say cruise and use it in a positive celebratory way,
Yes.
like embracing our cruise, and it doesn't mean anything negative to us, but you still have people saying it wanting to hurt you by
But
saying it,
yeah.
and
But
that's
I
so
think the joke's
boring in
on them.
2022.
The joke's on them actually, Deirdre. The joke
Yes,
the joke is really on them because hello, where have you been? Have you been living under a rock? Do you not know that
exactly.
actually, do you also not know how much money my crusade actually generates annually?
Yeah.
Okay, hoe is Muhammad Noordin
Funny.
says, weet julle daai girls daai tyd het Brazilian gedoen met 'n koppelkam wat hulle warm gemaak het op die Primus stove het dan ry die hele pad na geskroeide hare. Sy kan maar in die ren loop en ja, okay. Harriet's okay, bly in plek Viva Cruiserops. Ja, nee, ons ken daai. Ek het ook okay, ek het nou nie daai warme kam gebruik nie, but I was looking at a throwback picture the other day about the iron, die strykyster, but then somebody said to make it even more slick to stay in longer, you put the brown paper in between.
Yes, yes,
Die
that
was
was that was higher grade flat ironing. That was how bad it was. It's
like
actually,
we
it's
were
actually
so on
erg
a
that we had to go to
mission.
that extreme.
Yeah, we were on such a mission to wear our hair, to get our hair straight. We were on such a mission to get this hair to stay as straight as it possibly could for as long as it possibly could, that we would actually use a clothing iron with brown paper on your hair.
Yes. And
That's
we'd
what.
even deny that we did it, eh? Because you must believe that my hair is naturally straight like that. Imagine
That's I
so
denied.
scared that your hair is gonna mince. You will sleep with that swilkos for 2 days if you have to, but mince is not an option.
That's not an option.
To this day, I cannot swim van bang is die ware Jakob gaat uitkom.
True, true.
It
That
was,
that
and not like we can joke about it, Simone, but it wasn't a joke not
is
too
not.
long ago.
It's not a joke. Actually,
We can
100%.
only joke about it now because we've come to a place where we have a community
Yeah.
that supports embracing our natural hair. And that community comes about from just one person, just
Just what?
you seeing another person rocking their natural hair,
Yeah.
and another
100.
and another. We force. we forced brands to look into caring for our hair. I
Yeah.
see even the brands that's known for, looking after straight hair, whatever,
Yeah.
also trying and coming over to the party. Some of them still have a long way to go.
Listen, this is the thing, and I think I've had a conversation with a few brands about this, and people call them out. Like I like the fact that we hold these brands accountable because I don't know which brand. Well, I know which brand it was, but this person actually, I had them. And then this person actually asked this brand, listen, weren't you telling us to straighten our hair? So now you are also telling us to look after our natural hair. Like, where are you? Like, this is what this person was saying.
No,
Like,
it's because now they realize that the market is it's more us buying the hair products because look, we are not shy to buy natural hair products, eh?
I keep on telling people
Also,
this. People don't believe me, Deirdre. People do not believe me when I say that
no,
it's
we buy.
about
I literally just went to
building.
Clicks yesterday. I
Yeah.
saw 3 for 2, and then you go, oh, I hope it's of my favorites at 3 for 2 because then you
Mm-hmm.
stock up on what you like.
Yep.
So the brands who were catering just to straight hair and things, they are seeing that there is a market. Some of them definitely have it very wrong still, because
Mm,
sometimes I do try these straight products and I go, okay, you guys are trying, but we're
mm-mm.
still not there.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you doing this because you actually want to care for our hair? You actually want to create a product, or is this now just mula mula?
Yeah.
Because dan maak je ook fos kwaad, you know?
Yeah. It needs to be
En
authentic.
onze pose kan warm raak.
Yeah. It needs to be
Because,
authentic. This is the thing, Deirdre.
yes, come from a place of actually realizing that, look, we don't just have one hair type. We have different hair types, and our brand maybe now wants to cater to all, but then do it proper.
Yeah.
Actually include people who have those different hair types, find out what it is that our hair needs and whatever. Do proper research and actually start having people on your team that have different hair. Can we not just have straight hair people on your team, but then you are now selling hair products for type
Type
3 and
4.
type 4, but
Type
also
4.
on a type 2 op your panel?
Yes. That's the weird thing that I can't. And I think that's one of the objectives of my doctorate studies that like how is it that you are speaking to a market but nobody's in your marketing team, your brand team that really understands this. So if you are going to be speaking to a black female in her 30s, hello, don't you think that there should be a black female in her 30s on your marketing team
Exactly.
to provide insight to you? Okay,
Making
that's
it very easy.
Deirdre. We were supposed to say, we said we're going to keep this conversation light and fun, Deirdre, and it just went very deep. What?
You know what I say? It just goes deeper, deeper, deeper.
It just went so deep. Okay, so Deirdre, tell me, what are you 100% marry and support local? Really,
Yeah,
really, really support local. And I think also, like, some people, I definitely go off on this TED Talk vents on my social media on my page because I think we need to, and I was just talking about it in the week also about you know we need to really start really supporting our local brands and when and start our businesses, right? And we hou op vir discounts vir die hele tyd.
sure. And what? I can honestly vouch for like a lot of local brands. There are there are quite a few local brands that I constantly can just say and instantly can just say, try
These
it.
are the ones.
Like, I don't know of anyone that's like not liked it. A lot of the local brands, because if you think about it, hulle ken ons haar. They know our here in Cape Town even.
Yeah,
If you're gonna make it really small.
small.
Um, Based on our environments, based on our just a lot of things. So I
Yeah.
think it works for that reason. And even the price point of our local hair brands is lekker. I
No.
went into Clicks yesterday and I was looking at like the prices because I must be honest, I haven't bought hair products for a while because my cupboard looks like a Clicks
Yeah.
itself. Um, but then I was like, look, I need to go stock up on some favorites. And then I was looking at the prices and the prices was generally like 200 up. That is where we're at now. And then yet our local brands still come with 100 rands and 100 and something rands, man, for
I
top notch
I was actually also surprised. I
products.
was like, how is it that a local brand can still charge 100 rand or below 100 rand for an item like what? And this, I think this is what irks me is that then you still have the nerve to ask, can I pay month in? Can I get a discount?
Yes.
Because then the
Yeah.
profit margins is already so low, right? Because the price they pay for you, they have to cover the hard costs. And of course, they
So
have to
much.
obviously somewhere they need to make a. This is a business. It's not a charity. It's a business. Can we
And
also
our
just
local brands are coming in with the hard work. These people are putting on the labels themselves on these products. They are doing the most. So it's so pure, man. It comes from such a good place. When they
yes,
are packaging, when they are sending off your product, and then we still have the audacity to go maak het nog 'n bietjie cheaper. Don't you
like
think that
how?
they went and tried to make it as cheap as possible and still just get a little bit for them to continue with their business?
Yeah, no, just no. I physically, um, I physically also can't. Like I can't understand that. So some Rashida is it Rashida Armin is asking, does baie produkte om te vermy nie waar nie? I will say yes, there's a lot of products to avoid. Daar is 'n baie produkte, Rashida, wat jy moet vermy. And always you have to look at the list of ingredients, right? I always work on this is my theory. If the first 3 or 4 items on the ingredients list you cannot pronounce it, not even remotely closely, then it's not. Then it's a bad product.
Yeah,
So
that's a
there
good
are,
one.
you will have to, you will, I think we also have to remember that the products have to stay on shelf for quite a number, or at least I think what, 3, 4 months, right? So there is some form of chemicals in there to preserve the product to stand, obviously to be on shelf for more than 4 weeks or so, right? But
Yeah,
there is and from a legal and ethical standpoint, they're only allowed certain amount of preservatives in the product, of course, that is legally allowed and ethically allowed in order for you to say that this is a natural hair product. Okay,
yeah,
but if the first 4 product items are all chemicals that we cannot even pronounce. Honey, put the product down and you move to the next product. Okay? So there's certain words,
yeah,
hydro with water, right? Well, there's certain like cocoa something, something, then you know, okay, I can pronounce it. Cocoa hydroxide or whatever, then you know, okay, no, it's safe. But if there
yeah.
is, obviously, there is some form of preservative, that's just one thing. Unless it is 100% organic, then it needs to go into your fridge. Then it won't be on the shelf.
Exactly that also.
Okay? So that's when you know it's 100% organic. There's no preservatives in, nothing of that sort. Then it goes into your cupboard, fridge.
Yes.
Because if it goes into your cupboard, and gaan it af. Because
Ek
I
gaan
remember
afgaan, ja. And if it doesn't, then honey, there's preservatives in.
there's preservatives in. Let's
It
just
is
get
what it
that
is.
out of the way, right? So for instance, normally, and I know I bought a spritzer, ook van Mary en af van Molly Gray, and Mary said Simone, it has to go into your fridge, hey? Toe my man staan toe op die next oggend, hy sê Simone, hoekom is jou hair products in die fridge? Organic, baby, it's organic, right? So then it needs to go into the fridge, and then you cannot keep it longer than what? Maximum maybe 14 days, not even 14 days. 14 days is even pushing it. but no more than
Yeah.
40 days, right? But obviously, there are products to avoid. Deirdre, do you want to add anything there?
I think it also comes down to preference a lot of the times, because you do find that some people would be okay with something and some people wouldn't. Some people's okay with using silicone, some people's not okay with using silicone. So I think you need to identify firstly what you don't want to use, because
Yeah.
you find people that is very strict with like the curly girl method, and then there's some people that's like, okay, I'm not as strict. I'm someone that colors my hair. Some people will be like, you're not completely natural. And I'm just like, it's not a competition of how natural I am at this point.
Can we
Um,
just stop there? Can we just
and
because me up my nerves, like, because I am just the one because this thing, let's just stop there because I've gotten into conversations like that all the time, right? Because I also like coloring my, not my whole head. I like to do a streak here or two,
yes,
just
yes, I know. Yeah.
and a vibe as for my
Have fun
vibe.
with your hair.
Yes, and I do it safely, right? But I also get because I had a nice conversation with what is her name that runs the curly girl. Issa, I can't get to her name now. Pleasant lady, very pleasant woman.
Lauren,
Is it Lauren or Laverne or
something I know
something
with
with an
L.
L? I can't remember now. Yeah. But I had a conversation with her because the curly girl method, and everyone is just like, is it CGA approved? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what kind of different missing my other masters and like,
Yes. Yeah. Just
you know,
elaborate.
did I miss this curly girl approved? And I'm like, and now it's becoming very exclusive. And
And
I'm like,
that, I mean, each to its own
yeah,
again. But for me, that is where we're going back to making people feel like if you don't do this, then you are doing it right. It's still completely up to you what works for you and what doesn't. If you even okay with using silicones, then do you. At the end of the day, all that people is doing is sharing why they like using things and why they don't,
yeah,
and then you still have the choice to decide if you want to or not. That is just how it is.
yeah,
I can tell you that I'm a pre-poo Macy, but that doesn't mean you have to pre-poo. If you feel like you want to
exactly.
get into shampooing, then you do that. I can only just tell you why I choose to do that and why it works for me. But
Boom.
we need to stop making people feel like there is this rigid protocol almost of how you must be a natural.
I
Yeah.
physically cannot. I physically cannot, Deirdre. I physically cannot because for me, as an advocate, as an activist for natural hair, as somebody who preaches and loves this natural hair lifestyle, I just feel like number one, don't we have to the circle must be bigger, right? So you can't keep it here, right? Make the circle bigger. So for me it is just like, listen, this is the process, and don't exclude anyone in that, and don't say, oh, now if you're doing that, you can't call yourself a natural. When it is so
Yes.
difficult, Maki, it's really not. It is really not that difficult. It's unnecessary to make it that difficult. Listen, if colors A, I can only say, girl, listen, do A, B, and C to make sure you are caring for your hair. But if you, like last
Exactly.
week, I had somebody, I always laugh at this. Somebody was saying, my hair is so dry, and she was messaging me, and I was like, we were basically in a consultation, and she was like, saying, it's so dry. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing A, B. She's ticking all the right boxes. She's doing everything right. And she's like, but my hair's still dry. En toe
Yeah.
vra ek haar nou, hoe gereeld was jy jou hare man? Like hoe gereeld
Uh,
spandeer jy tyd met jou hare? You
yeah.
know, I'm very lazy, Simone. It's not like when I was 5 years ago to say, go. Right. To say,
Now what do you think?
dat jy nou vir my, jy het nou jouself geantwoord. Ek het my nou net, I was just like fishing it out of you. But if you are not going to stick to your routine, obviously gaan jou hare droog raak. Obviously
Yes,
gaan, your hair is not going to grow, it's not going to flourish because you're not sticking religiously to your routine, you know.
yes,
And then she was
and
saying she was using this brand, and I said, but maybe you need to change your brand because clearly it is not working. So change the brand. There are sample size products. That's why you must also come to events, hint, hint, nudge, nudge,
exactly.
to get also sample size products so that you can see, okay, Maya is loving this, it's doing something. But honey boo boo child, if you are not going to stick to the routine and if you're going to be lazy, then gaan jou hare mos nou,
Yes.
it's gonna be dry, buddy.
Now you see something's wrong. Now you have to go backtrack. What could be causing this? Okay, Deidre, lang laas met jou satin pillowcase geslaap. Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to that. Let's put that routine.
Yep.
Okay, still dry. Right, what's next? Girlfriend, you've been skipping that deep conditioner. Right, back to that. It's a this is really a matter of understanding your hair. People need to get this.
Yep.
I often will go like when I try products, I'll go, okay, let me try the leave-in with the cream first, and then maybe a butter. Then when I have another chance, then I'll go, okay, let me try it with maybe not the butter, maybe now with the oil after. You know, because it's a figuring out process. Whether you have a regime already, when you're using different products, it can have a different effect on you. So figure out how it works with you and play around,
Yeah. Yep.
because that figure out. Oh, I mean, for the longest time, I just used creams until I started going, but I actually like gels more because some people might be more for the volume. That is
Yeah.
for me also. And then some people might be more for the defined curls because
Yeah.
a girl also talk about how people feel like the more defined your curl is, the nicer your hair is. Because I'm also like, can we not? Van ons praat nou van stylkrulle. Ons praat nou van stylkrulle nou.
Yes, they still. This is the thing, eh? I kind of get dealing. I'm like, no, it's just a style. Like, ek is nie 'n perm-rod meisie nie. Ek was nog nooit 'n perm-rod meisie nie. Ek het al getry om perm-rods, curling rods te gebruik al. I have
Yes.
got I have to, after an event, dan moet ek die goed weggee because dan staan my een kamer vol in my huis.
Yeah.
And I give it to charity. Or if you
Yeah.
tell me, Simone, I'm just starting out with a natural hair, I give you amper a natural hair starter kit. Because,
Very nice.
but I'm not the permanent girl. I it could be the patience for any Deidre. I don't have the patience, I don't have the time. But if it's for an event or a function of a wedding of a geites is that, dan is permanent and sit and say hi and that like nogal nice. But for
Yes.
me, the natural hair journey for me, it was all about how am I going to make my life? For me, it's about I want the ease of life. Ek het genoeg gesukkel.
Yeah.
I want the ease of life. So for me, it's like, okay, that's why I do wash and goes. Wash and
Yeah.
goes is my vibe. And twists, that's my vibe because
Yes.
I can do it once or twice a week and vava voom for the other week shut, right? But I understand that that's why my hair also got dry a lot because it was out. So I needed to.
Yes. Yes. I actually remember, I don't know if Marion still in the chat, but I actually remember Marion said the one day that she doesn't do like wash and go. She twists her hair always
Yes.
first. And I was like, I always thought that somehow like my curls would disappear and would just be like a straight was. And I tried and I was like, girl, why was jy al die tyd so met lang kaal vir my? Was so kom dit was
Exactly.
But that's the thing, like you have to just try things and talk to people because everyone's gonna be like, this is what I do. And then you
Yes.
try it. Try
Yep.
it for you and see how it works. Like you said with the perm rod, you're like, okay, I tried it, but it doesn't work for me. Or maybe it doesn't work for me on the regular.
Yes.
Figure out for yourself, Nana. For the one person, a wash and go can be, but like you said, there's also the case of remember that you're now always wearing your hair out. No?
And that causes
And
dryness, yeah.
when you have an issue with your hair, it's almost easier for you to figure out how to fix it because you know what the issue is. So you
Yeah.
know that my hair is very dry. And then you can start going, why? What's causing it? And then you start fixing een by een dinge
Yeah.
to see what is making it better. Because I sometimes have friends when they start out, hulle voel mos dit hulle moet net so maak in product en hulle afro.
Boom.
I just afro. So they just think they must put the hair there and ons moet net so gaan heeltyd. And I'm like, girlfriend, spend time with your hair.
Yes, sir.
Take
Yes,
them.
ma'am.
Elke strand 'n bietjie liefde. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. Play around with it, whatever. You know, I almost know if I want a big afro, what I do with
Yeah,
my
you
hair.
know
Then
what
I
to
know if
do.
I want a fine look, what I do with my hair. Then I know if I want a blowout, what I do with my hair. Yes, I
Yeah,
do blow dry.
me too.
Blow dry we do. We just learned about heat protectant spray like later on in our lives. But you know, you figure out, okay, I'm going to event. When I style my hair, this is what I do. This is what I do when I want a defined look, etc., etc. And once you actually do things because you want to understand your hair, that's when it gets easy.
Yeah.
That's when it gets fun. Because you're no longer going, oh, ja, ek het dan nou gesit die moes, ek het dan nou gesit die dan. Het jy gekyk hoe sit jy in die moes? En het jy gekyk as ek 'n baie moes aan sit versus as ek bietjie moes aan sit?
That's the thing, eh? Moose has
As
been
ek 'n
around.
paar of nat hare, so meisie is dit. As ek altyd versus
But this is the thing, like the moose, moose has been around for forever. I remember when I was growing up, my mom used to use moose when she put my curlers in, right?
yes.
So a mousse is a setting or a styling product essentially, right? So mousse made its comeback in the natural hair, and I also remember when you have like very short hair and when you doing coils, so jy
Yeah.
mousse op because dan maak dit lekker, right? So mousse made its comeback in natural hair. En almal het 'n mousse, maar niemand weet hoe om dit te gebruik nie.
Yes. But they're also not figuring it out, Simone. Try to do it in a way. I saw someone had a combo that they use where they first use the mousse and the gel and it worked for them, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, cute, let me try that, see how that works. Then you try it on, like you said before, you put in like your rollers or whatever, to the dye way. You know, you can even like wrapping mousse for when they do the braids and they'll sort of
Yes,
wrap there. There's different ways, but you must have fun by trying everything.
but
That is
this is
the
the
only
thing.
thing you gonna know.
But this is the thing, it's expensive to try.
But that is why, no, that's true. That is very true. I will say that. But when you go buy your products, you say you're gonna start off, you're gonna buy a shampoo, a conditioner, deep conditioner's life.
Yes.
I often, to be honest, I skip conditioner a lot and I'll go straight in with the deep conditioner after
Okay.
shampoo. So like shampoo, deep conditioner, styling product, and then if you want to seal it all in or whatever afterwards, right? Keep it simple.
Yeah.
But then with you can already play around. Do you know what I mean? Jy kan nou begin, gaan ek nou lock, gaan ek nou LCO, gaan ek nou,
What am I
now
gonna do?
you start playing around like that, and then one by one you can sort of add. And like you said with the events, there's a lot of samples. We only look at the full size products because we become greedy like that also. It is lekker to get full
Mhm.
size, but there is also a purpose to getting all of that samples. It's
Yes.
a nice way for you to get a feel of a product. I mean,
Yeah.
I know half of the time, as I say, so klein, jy kan dit net gebruik op die voorste strand, but it still allows you to get a feel of the product, because sometimes it just takes for you to use that shampoo to go, it's not for me. Then you already know I don't need to waste my time. But now when you use a sample, you're like, I actually kind of like this. Now it's worth trying to buy a bottle. Daai is die
Yeah.
punt van samples.
That's
The
the
point
point.
isn't to give you a lifetime supply of the product. The point is to have you test it and then go, it's worth me shopping for a full-size product.
Exactly.
And if
Exactly.
I mean, so many people in the community. I often have my friends go, I often tell them, like, I actually really like this. If you want it, you can use a bitchy and see
Yeah.
how it works for your hair before you now go and spend money on it or whatever.
And
You can
commit
even
to
try
it.
it. Yes, sometimes I don't like a product, Simon, but you love it.
Yeah.
Then I can be like, then have it.
100% correct. I'm with you on that. Oh my gosh, we were supposed to keep this conversation very fun and very. Oh, we tried. We tried. We
We
tried,
need to
Deidre. We
drag out
tried.
the edit.
We tried.
Also,
Listen, our time is
yeah,
almost up, but we try to keep it a little fun. Maybe next time you need to do a tutorial on how you achieve that look, the puff.
hairstyles, like hairstyles.
Just
Because
say,
I just want to quickly say before you go off, I had and this one actually hit because someone said to me, you know what, I struggle with doing hairstyles that don't have me look like a child.
yes.
And I thought, wow, that is actually such a valid freaking thing to say because a lot of the hairstyles is almost too fun when you're a bit older. And
Yeah,
you're like,
especially for work.
ik wil dan niet necessarily twee bolas hierbo en sê dit nou weer. You know, like we like
Yeah.
to have fun, but we also wanna this. And I thought that's actually something. So
Yeah.
I think maybe when we have another series, we can come back with some what we consider
And I thank you.
professional hairstyle.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's also, especially I have a lot of people that inbox me and say, um, can I go? My naturally, I'm so anxious. I have to go for an interview today, and I'm like, girlfriend, or if you're wearing a natural hair, like then you can go to the interview like that. And she's like, oh, but I feel like da 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 da. She's afraid. She doesn't know. Is it accepted? Blah blah blah. And you know what? You are allowed to go with your natural hair in any workplace unless it's a harm or a danger to you. So obviously, when you're working as a chef, moet jy mos nou 'n ding op jou kop sit because
Yeah.
jy werk met kos
This
protocol, right? But if you're going for an
that goes
interview,
for
that's
it
right.
must go for
That's right. That's right. So obviously, when you're going for an interview, then you can wear a high puff like that. That's very professional. I normally just do it on the side twirls and I pin it up on my hair at the back. You still have your curlies out there and you get some gel just to kind of, so that it doesn't out. And so I've gone to
yeah.
interviews with my afro out and I got the job.
And if we're gonna keep hiding, then we're not gonna show them that this is how it's done. Remember
This is
how we
out.
got to this with our natural hair? It's because we felt comfortable with going out there. So
That's
people
right.
need to start being comfortable and saying, look, this is my natural hair. I mean, look, there is protocols in place everywhere, and if there is enough reason and grounds for it, like
Yeah,
you said with the chef situation, even for me working in a
in
hospital as a
medicine.
health professional, I think the campus no weet wanneer jy nou 'n bietjie uitbyt. You know?
Yeah, yes.
Uh, but I also always say, like, I cannot help it if my hair grows up and not down, so the legislation
Yeah.
doesn't apply.
Well, yep.
But
100%.
we also have to be realistic about things, and sometimes, like, we're also fighting the wrong fight.
Yeah.
You know, but definitely go to the interview with your national hair because they need to start saying we don't change our hair because now suddenly we're coming for an interview.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
100%. This is what it is. And
yeah,
also what I found also is that actually they want the natural hair in the workplace because it shows diversity. It shows that there is inclusivity and that they are, treating everyone fair and equal, you know.
yeah.
So, okay, you remind me, man, of what event. So, before we run out of time, kom my man, and now ons praat nou te lekker hier. So tickets, yeah. So Deidre, I won't be seeing you, but you bought your ticket for the Cruise Rocks Day out. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We have literally, it's less than a month to go. My analysis potato. Anyway, there's less than a month to go for the event. If you want more of this kind of talks in this environment and space, especially if you have young girls. In fact, if you have young kids, they need to come to the event as well. We have kids tickets,
Very important.
very, very important, so that they can grow up and see that this is normal. This is
Yeah,
normal. There's nothing weird about it. This is normal, and that they can start celebrating it and start believing and understanding their beauty and their beauty in their natural hair. So please join us. The event takes place on the 16th of December. That's the Friday. At the Market Hall at Grand West. We start at 10 a.m. sharp.
Yes, yeah.
And we've got a full program. I was actually afraid that we won't have enough time for all of that. And we also have a host of startup businesses that will also be there. One of the sponsors is, of course, Mayal Organics and AfriPure. I see you've got your AfriPure media box there, Deirdre.
Listen, I got a box from Every Pure. Actually, I am so into pre-pooing right now. So they actually have like a little mixture recipe in here
Yep.
to mix their oils. So I'm gonna be doing that. Here's your yoga oil, here's tea tree oil, here's avocado oil, here is vitamin E oil, and then they gave me like this olika bucky to mix it in.
Yes, to mix your oil,
Yeah, and then this brush to like apply it.
to
So
apply the oil.
I'm gonna have fun with that.
Awesome.
And I see AfriPure does a lot of these like mixology classes almost where they allow you to mix the oils and things. It's so look.
No, it is actually they debuted at the Getaway last year, so there will
Oh,
be
oh
a breakaway session again
okay.
for about 50 ladies. So obviously they've been doing it since last year. So for those of you who have not yet been there, this is your opportunity to also be part of the breakaway class where they do the mixology and really teach. It really is a class about mixing your own growth oil mix, as well as other, I think, the moisturizing, how you use your oils to kind of to moisturize your hair. And it's all
Yeah.
oils that we grew up with, like the avocado oil, the castor oil, etc. So Every Pure will definitely be there. And then, of course, we also have MTN on board, and you will also see that Bush Radio has also come on board as our radio sponsor. So it's exciting,
Nice.
and we're growing, growing. Please get your tickets before they sell out. We are about 65% sold out. Ek dink almal wag nou for payday. But all I'm
But for the,
saying is, just say again.
but for the bonus.
Alabari bonus, yeah. But all I'm saying is get your tickets. You don't want to miss out on anything. And we
Yeah.
also have a host of startup businesses, really cute startup businesses, selling their goods and services as well on the day. And we've got a host of entertainment, Don Vino Prince and Robin Peters, of
My
course.
favorite.
My favorite too. So I'm just glad that I got them because they are booked and busy this season, of course.
Yeah.
With Ingrid Jones, Chrislyn Asias, Lizette Boys, Tumelo and Paula, they are flying in. Tumelo and Paula is actually
Wow.
flying in from Johannesburg, and Homegirl is
No,
busy. Oh my gosh. Do you know she's
already.
a
Oh,
SAFTA nominated awards winner, SAFTA award winning
wow.
artist, and she's actually busy on a movie at this moment, so I can't even get her for an
Right.
interview quickly. Homegirl is busy, so it's really just
No,
like,
for people showing us that it can be done. We need this.
listen, the girl is doing
Oh,
the
we need
thing.
for all Simone. We need to realize. As jy wen ek cook.
And thank you. You clap, so it means that you know what winning is in the neighborhood. Winning is in the neighborhood.
It's
But listen, Deirdre, thank you so much. Ons kan ons nou tot môre praat, but we can't. So thank you very much for joining me. If you want to follow Deirdre's journey and the styling tips, ek breek vir my vir Deirdre's TikTok videos. Follow her, Deirdre by Deirdre. Exactly how you say it, Deirdre by Deirdre. Follow her on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And thank you so much for joining us. And next time, definitely we'll do like a tutorial, just to do different styles. But I think we
that'll be
achieved our goal for tonight's podcast.
yeah. Thank thank you so much for having me again. Always such a pleasure talking to someone who is as enthusiastic about hair, um, like you are. So thank you so much. I
Absolutely
can't wait
no.
to see you.
Me neither. I cannot just wait to hang out and go for supper and just like have a good time. But
Yeah.
everyone else, thank you very much. I hope you kind of got through load shedding and that you survived it, Ayana. And yeah, I see you soon. Don't forget to get your tickets for the event. And yes, God bless. Be safe and see you soon. And keep on changing the narrative with me.
Toodles.
Toodles.
See you. Love you. Thinking, guys. Bye.